Welcome back. Let's now drill it down to the individual stocks you should have on your radar this Tuesday morning. Our research team is standing by with CNBC-TV18's list of top stocks for the day. And first up, once again, it's the pharmaceutical, where Apollo Hospitals is planning a reorganization and some monetization. Ekta joins in with the details.
Hi, thanks for that. Well, yes, Apollo Hospitals is in focus because they will be demerging their pharmacy, digital health and pharma distribution business into a new listed entity, which is NewCo. Now, the transaction involves 3 steps, which is demerger of the omni-channel pharmacy and digital health business, amalgamation of Apollo Health Co., which includes Apollo 24/7 with the new company, and merger of KMed, which is their pharma distribution business, into the new company. So Apollo Hospital shareholders will be receiving 195 shares of the new company for every 100 shares held. The new company listing is expected between 18 to 21 months. Apollo Hospitals will retain 15% stake, and the components in the new company will be Apollo 24/7, which is the digital business, Apollo Pharmacy, which is the retail business, KMed, which is the distribution business, and the telehealth unit. The projected revenue, 16,300 crores in FY25, targeting 25,000 crores by FY27 with 7% EBITDA margins. The structure mainly for Apollo Hospitals removes the holding company discount, and hence it's a positive call at 12 p.m. today.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Ekta. And at 9 a.m., we'll be joined by Sumit Gupta of Centrum to talk about Apollo Hospitals as they hive off the pharmacy, digital health business as well. So impact coming up. Well, let's hop across to Nimesh. He's here to tell us about CG Power. He had alerted us, likely to be some fundraise, and bang on. Nimesh, tell us more.
Well, so they've launched the QIP last evening. So CG Power is going to raise 3,000 crores by a very small dilution of close to 3%. The floor price is 660, which means a 2.5-3% discount to the SEBI floor price. So not much big discount as well. I understand there is a very strong demand. 2x book is covered, is what I understand from bankers. But interesting, for the proceeds, the large part of the proceeds will be used for setting up the OSAT facility. Apart from that, they're looking at using some of the funds for the power transformer plant, as well as for inorganic opportunities as well. So, but I guess large part is for the OSAT facility, and that's why I guess there is a very strong demand. So 2x demand is what I understand, and a very small discount as well. So maybe I'll go with the green because of the fundraising. Dilution is quite small at just 3%.
All right, Nimesh, thanks a lot for that. Let's go back to Ekta. Ekta's got a busy morning. Torrent Pharma, the big deal that was announced yesterday. Ekta, you heard into the conference call. What were the takeaways?
Well, yes, important takeaways where they have said that the first year of the merged entity, which is JB Chemical and Torrent Pharma, should be EPS accretive. Leverage ratios look comfortable to them. They would be around below 0.5 times 2 years post the deal. When it comes to debt, we'll see if equity is required to fund the deal at all. So it's not something which is definitely on the table. They expect procurement savings, combined manufacturing to result in some amount of savings. Timeline to complete the transaction is anywhere between 15 to 18 months. Valuations have softened versus last year, which now made the deal attractive. So overall, they seem to be quite positive when it comes to the merged entity being EPS accretive, as well as the fact that leverage shouldn't be too much of a concern.
Got it. All right, Ekta. Thanks a lot for that. So all positive news flow this morning, barring NMDC, which I'm tracking. They've gone ahead and they've cut prices effective today by 600 and 500 rupees on lumps as well as fines. And the revised prices come up for you on the screen. Remember, the past month as well, they had gone ahead and cut prices by around 140 to around 150 rupees per ton. So given that it's the monsoon season, we normally see a price cut. And the stock as well, the performance gets a little bit subdued in the monsoon season. However, this price cut of 600 and 500 rupees is actually larger than what most on the street were working with. But why are they cutting prices? Remember, Chinese demand has been a little bit softish, which has caused iron ore prices to correct. Supply as well has picked up out there. That's on the global front. And domestically, since it's the monsoon, a lot of smaller mills will be shutting down, which creates some excesses of iron ore in the system. So softer demand from steel companies is the other reason out there. Expect the stock to react in the red. But Hormuz is joining in. He's tracking a couple of companies. Gabriel India, that could be one of the stocks of the day. and Sona BLW. Hormuz, take it away.
Morning, Nigel, and a couple of developments, as you mentioned, for Gabriel as well. And the price action was indicating that something was in the offing because the stock was up 20% in the last 5 trading sessions. And last evening, they have announced the fact that they are going to consolidate the Anand Group's auto businesses into one single entity, and this will be done through multiple steps. The first step will involve the merger of Anchemco into Asia Investments Private Limited, and then the Asia Automotive businesses of Asia Investments, or AIPA, will first be demerged and then merged into Gabriel India, and because AIPA has other non-automotive investments as well. Now, as per this deal, Gabriel will be offering 1158 shares of the company for every 1,000 shares of AIPA that people have as of the record date, and as a result of which the promoter shareholding will increase to 63.5% from 55% after this merger exercise is complete, done at a multiple of 8 times EV to EBITDA, and they are expecting some more value unlocking to take place because of this and consolidation of the group's shareholding structure as well. So expect a positive reaction there. Sona BLW, well, they told CNBC-TV18 last evening that they are considering manufacturing of rare earth magnets in India, and they are waiting for the government to roll out an incentive scheme in this regard, and the final decision will be taken based on the incentives that are offered in that scheme, and they are likely to apply for any such scheme in case that gets rolled out as well. Of course, rare earths are used in a lot of other automotive components as well, so it will be a positive in case such a scheme is rolled out. So keep an eye out on Sona BLW as well.
All right, we take that point. Near-term positive for Gabriel, a long-term positive for Sona BLW. We'll keep an eye out on these stocks, but a bunch of other stocks also making news this morning. We have Vamakshi joining in with that list. Vamakshi, good morning.
Good morning, Mangalam. Let me first start off with IRDA. The company reported its business update for the quarter gone by, that is the first quarter FY26. Loan sanctions stood at 11,740 crore. This is a very strong uptick of almost 28.5%. The loan disbursements were up almost 31.1% on a year-on-year basis at almost 6,981 crores, and the loan book also resultantly saw an uptick of almost 26.5%. As far as HUDCO is concerned, going with the green for this counter because the loan sanction saw a substantial jump to 33,904 crores. This is a 140% uptick on a year-on-year basis, but the loans disbursed were up only 1.5% at 12,812 crores. But when we look at this on a sequential basis, it's a very good growth, so therefore going with the green for this counter. The next stock on our radar is NCC. The company's building division has received orders worth 1,690 crores in the month of June, and these orders have been received from state governments and private limited companies and include no internal orders. Bodes well for the company. Green for NCC. Lastly, keep an eye out on Prestige Estates as well. Green for this counter because they've launched a residential project which is Prestige Pallavaram Gardens in Chennai. This project has a GDV of almost 3,350 crores, and this is the third launch announced by the company after Bangalore, which was a plotted development, as well as Indirapuram launch.
Thank you very much for that, Vamakshi. Let's do a quick recap then of the top stocks. Stocks with positive news flow are Apollo Hospitals, CG Power, Torrent Pharma, Gabriel India, Sona BLW Precision, IRDA, HUDCO, NCC, Prestige Estates. Well, the only stock which could open in the red today is NMDC. But moving on now to what's happening in the world of commodities, currency. Manisha is now joining in with a complete roundup. Manisha.
Thank you for that, Reema. I'll start with the crude oil prices, where we've seen 2 months of gains coming for the commodity, while, of course, today is yet another day that you're looking at a 0.5% decline right now. And that is because the markets believe that OPEC Plus will increase supplies by 400,000 barrels per day for the month of August as well. This would be a 5th month of output increase, and that would bring the supplies higher by 1.78 million barrels per day. What is weighing onto the markets? But barring energy, everything else seems to be doing quite well. Gold gained 1% overnight. Silver was up 1.5% as well. Tin gained to 3-month highs. The recovery of trade flows in China, US and China working toward trade agreement are supportive factors for many of the metals. And add to that the fact that we've seen some economic data come in positive, and then China is talking about more stimulus measures as well. So other metals like aluminum, copper also are trading at a 3-month highs. Add to it the fact that you are also looking at supply and inventory concerns. That has been supportive. Even lead prices are trading at a 13-week highs. So multi-week, multi-month highs for many of these metal prices in Asia.
All right, metal prices rising. We've seen the weakening of dollar index as well. So that has a positive impact on some of these commodity prices. Manisha, thank you so much for joining in. Take a short break. On the other side, we have the management of Jupiter Lifeline Hospitals joining in to discuss the impact of Amazon's entry into the diagnostic space, the entire healthcare space. We'll also get Amnish Agarwal of PL Capital join in.